Hi, this is Joe and welcome back to the shop. This week's video is right at the top of the honeydew list. The wife came to me and says, "Hey, our fire pit is falling apart. Would you please do something about it?" So as you can see here, let me walk over. I have some scroll work that's falling apart. She says, "Can you fix it?" And I pulled off the top and looked at it, and it looks pretty bad. Some of the square tubing here is rusted all the way through. So it looks like we're going to have to build a new foundation for the fire pit. As you can also see, the circular base here is pretty bad. The screen top and grate are pretty well shot and rusted through. I'm going to take the circular pan or fire pan from the pit and go through and do some surface grinding on it and see. Hopefully it's not rusted through in any areas. I'll go through and clean that up, and hopefully we'll try to reuse that and then construct a new base and construct a new screen top. So I don't have a square tubing bender. Let's pan over this way. So I don't have a square tubing bender, so but I do have a ring roller. So I can roll some 1/4-inch rod, up to 1/4-inch rod, and I can roll some 1/8 inch flat bar up to 1 inch wide. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a combination of some 1/4-inch rod supported with some 1/8 inch flat steel, and try to replicate the base in a circular pattern, and then I'll just clean up the scroll work and weld that back on, clean up the base, maybe some sandblasting or some sanding on it, repaint that, and then we'll reconstruct a new base, clean up the circular pan, and then construct a new screen top. So that's going to be the project for this week, and it may be one, it may be two videos. I'll keep you guys posted during the progress of this video as I work through the fabrication of the various pieces. Let's take a measurement of the base. As you see here, from outer portion of the ring to the outer portion of the ring, it's 12 inches. Let's go over to the ring roller, and we'll take some 1/4-inch solid rod and 1 inch, 1/8 inch thick steel flat bar, and we're going to bend some material to recreate this lower base ring. Here we're at the ring roller. I'm going to start out with the 1/4-inch solid rod. I already have the tension adjusted. I did that by just taking a scrap piece of 1/4-inch rod and running it through and getting the adjustment fairly close. Usually you make repeated rolls through the ring roller. I'm going off to get a pair of vice grips here. You want to make sure as you're rolling that the piece of rod doesn't skew to the left or the right, or it will, or your rod will not be parallel or flat. So I'm holding it with a pair of vice grips to keep it from twisting in the dies of the ring roller. So I'm going to roll all the way around, and in this particular case I'm going to have to make 2 passes. We're just slightly larger than 12 inches here on this first pass through. Then I'll roll it a second time off camera, and we'll get it down to just under 12 inches. Then off camera I'll roll the flat bar, because the process is pretty much the same. Let's go over to the workbench and take a look at the finished rings. Here you can see I've rolled the outer band and one inner rod. The other rod off to the left has been rolled but hasn't been trimmed yet. I still have to trim the outer band and cut it and tack it. And then what we'll do is we'll take the inner rod and position those inside the outer band, mount them, one at the lower portion of the band, one at the upper portion of the band. This will give us some added strength. I'll put some 3/4 inch square tube pieces underneath the rod, and that way I can rest the rod onto those 3/4 inch pieces, so that when I put the first rod in, it will rest and be flush with the upper portion of the band. Then we'll, after that's tacked in, we'll put the other band in, flip it over, and tack it on the other side. So let's go over and we'll trim it, take it over to the welding table, and we'll get ready to tack and weld. I have some arc shots of some of that process. The welding bench here, I have the outer band clamped using a pair of vice grips, and I have the two ends of the band butt jointed. I'm going to tack weld those and then weld that. And then what we'll do is we'll flip the band over and start in welding the center rods.